You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 74. Today is March 18, 2022. And today's guest is, I'm going to call him co-host now because I haven't recorded crap in a while because I haven't had a guest. So Ricky will be the co-host.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
For a while until somebody else decides to come and record because I've been getting lectured by the wife. How much money do you spend on your podcast equipment? How much money is sitting in the garage? So I figured
When was the last episode you posted?
I'm looking at my notes here. January 9th.
Fuck.
So 2 months and 9 days ago.
2 months.
And then the one before that was a week before that, which was the 2nd of January. And then before that one, it was in November.
So you're pretty much averaging, and when you go on a little hiatus, you're going about 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
That's
but
not bad.
I'm being reminded that I spent a lot of money on podcast equipment for it to just sit there.
Yeah.
So
Aren't you paying for the membership too to upload?
No, I actually learned a while back that Anchor does it for free.
Oh,
so
okay.
remember that time where I told you, hey, bro, do me a favor and go on this app and just download my podcast multiple times?
You know how long that took me?
Okay, well, that was...
You know how many nights I had to leave that app open so it played all of them?
The reason why I asked you to do that was because when I switched over to Anchor, I lost my download history. So until I caught up to the last total number, that's when I decided, okay, cool, I'm done. Because I did it on a daily basis. Boom, 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 every day. Re-downloaded the podcast. And once I got to that number, and then I stopped. Okay, cool. I was at this number, 3,000 downloads, whatever. I physically caught up again, so I let it be.
Okay.
And after that, I haven't done that. But yeah, I needed that to get my numbers back up.
Okay.
Because, like I said, switching from one company to another, I lost.
You erase everything.
Total downloads.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like I said, the wife asked me, "What's going on with your podcast equipment?" Now you're playing with a freaking $700 camera. What's going on with that? I'm like,
life's about hobbies, though, man. It's about hobbies. But
the thing is, she says my hobbies are expensive.
They could be more expensive.
The camera was $700, and I'm not even done. I need a strap. I need a different strap for my neck, one for my hand, a backpack that holds everything in its slot. I bought a tripod. Yeah,
yours is newer than mine, right?
It's the 7. Canon 7.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's not an I series, so it's just the screens in the back. Yours, it comes with a little swivel of a screen. But no, those are good cameras. My brother Danny gave my brother Chris the T3.
Okay. Yeah.
And that one's worth about $100.
I think that's what I bought mine for. But it was kind of sketch when I bought mine because I met this dude at it was on OfferUp, or I think it was Let's Go at the time. So I went to Let Go, bought this camera. I heard a lot of good reviews about it. I wanted it for videoing. So I go meet this person somewhere downtown, and I ask him, like, oh, hey, how do you turn the flash on? He didn't know how to use it. So red flag, I'm like,
Pretty sus, man.
Yeah, I was like, pretty sus. So, yeah, I just got it for $100. I knew it was really cheap at the time. So,
no, you actually got the T5i, which is better than the 3. Obviously, it's newer. I went to Target one day, and can I afford 2 of them? That's when you buy it, when you can afford 2 of them. My brother Danny is like, well, there's the one. I'm like, well, that's $5 something. She goes, then I recommend you get that lens, but you can get it cheaper on Amazon. Hey, can I get help with this lens, please? Before he could even finish, he was like, I'm like, nah, dude, I like my shit new. So,
yeah,
it's not a hobby, bro. I've always been into taking photos.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
I've always been into taking photos. I've had multiple cameras. Just the next one's better than the last one.
Yeah.
This one, I just went from a $300 camera to a $700 camera. And like I said, now I'm looking for accessories. But yeah, the wife's like, hey, so when's the last time you touched that podcast equipment? But in my defense, also, it's been hard getting a guest. I've asked people, even when I give it a break the last time, I got people hitting me up saying, hey, I wanted to be on the podcast, but okay, hey, you want to record on Saturday? Oh, well, I'm busy. Okay, what about Sunday? Oh, but what about Friday night? Oh, I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of asking. So I'm sure they'll hit me up when they're ready. They'll remember. They'll hear me saying this right now, and they'll be like, "Holy shit, he's talking about me."
Yeah, well, don't forget too that you can also do it over the phone now, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't have to come.
So
I've said
before that was
multiple
kind of, I
times.
think, like that was the issue, right? People are like, "Oh man, going out there," because also it was always early in the morning, So now that you can do it over the phone, I mean, that also makes it a little easier.
Yeah, buying this little mixer thing helps a lot.
Yeah.
But they still have to find time. Now it's like, I don't care what time we do it. Let's just do it. Like right now, look, it's what, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not early in the morning, and somehow I'll still manage to post this today and get out of the way. But no, my wife
Became more efficient. So
yeah, and my wife did say, hey, you need to start using your podcast more often. But I also did offer the church that we go to, the priest, I offered to use my equipment to help him start his podcast. Because his speeches are on point, dude.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time where he even had Layla questioning herself. Like, so if he can make a 15-year-old at the time understand what he's saying, then I offered my services to see if he wanted to use my equipment to record his own podcast since he listens to podcasts. And he took me off on the offer, and I'm just waiting on him to say, hey, let's go. He said after Easter.
Okay.
So
nice.
We'll probably start recording his podcast after Easter, and then
it's going to be his own separate.
His own separate,
Oh, okay,
not the
cool.
FTA podcast. It'll
Yeah.
be his podcast. I'll just do all the editing, posting for him. I just need him to record his episode.
Yeah.
I take
okay.
him the microphone. Dude, I bought 4 microphones.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them haven't even been used in over a year. So I have the equipment. I don't have to take my setup apart. I
Yeah.
can just take mine. But I do gotta use this more often.
That's good though, man.
And then
I
you
mean,
know why I also don't like to use it in the morning or do it in the morning? Because I got into my bike again. I started riding my bike again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've
So
been
that-
seeing that. I've been seeing that on Facebook.
On Sunday we went to the Azusa Wildness forest thing.
Yeah,
whatever.
I saw that. You were 5 minutes from my house, fool. Why don't you come through?
That's not 5 minutes from your house, dude.
It was like 10.
On the freeway at 65 miles an hour, not on bikes at
I looked.
12
It was,
miles an hour.
It was closed. It was closed. I'm
It's
like,
not that
dude,
far.
why didn't you just swing through a little
It wasn't that
breakfast?
far. Little- right, okay. Yeah, no. What about tomorrow? Are you free tomorrow, Saturday morning? I'm putting you on the spot.
I
Bullshit.
will say I probably am, but I know I've been trying to work out with Bethy, so
I'll have the kids slash your cars. You ain't going anywhere today. I'll have them slash your tires right now.
I
You ain't
actually
going
would be
anywhere.
available in the morning
I
too.
got bikes, dude. I got bikes, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, no. Not really. Not tomorrow. I probably won't go on a long one tomorrow because we have haircuts scheduled.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I fucking get this going, see what's up, catch up with Officer Ricky, to see what any LAPD stories he's got going on, and then the usual routine. Then we'll get into a serious conversation.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple, but one that's kind of been sticking out to me recently. It's happened a few weeks ago. It's kind of like a disgusting one. So I got a radio call of this guy apparently that appeared to have mental illness, hit someone over the head with a bat. Guy was okay. When I talked to him, he just had like a bump. Wasn't bleeding. But I guess he knows him though. He knows that he has a mental health issue. So like, okay. He goes, yeah. He usually hangs around this area because he's now living in the streets. Like, okay, cool. So we kind of drive around, look for him. We find him, and I see this black thing on his finger, on his middle finger, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So I thought he had like a little piece of a glove on it. So as we get closer, I notice the black thing that literally looks like Mr. Deed's foot is his finger. It's pitch black. And I'm like, hey, is that me and my partner, like, hey, is that your finger? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what happened? He's like, oh, I cut it. I punched the glass and I cut it. And I tied string around it. So this finger that looks like Mr. Deed's foot was completely dead and was now was decomposed because he cut the circulation and left it on there for 2 months. So that finger was completely dead. At the knuckle of your finger, that's where it was separated because he tied it so tight that it was cutting the skin and circulation that his finger like barely hanging on. So, of course, he didn't like my partner, so I had to handcuff him, holy shit, did that thing stink? Because it was rotting flesh. It was rotting flesh, so it stunk. Oh my god! And so when we get to we also have to get medically cleared because one, he has health issues, or mental health issues, and two, of this fucking finger that's going on. So when he's in the doctor's chair, she asks him like, "Okay, hey, how long ago has that happened?" He lifts up his finger, puts it to his mouth, licks in between the dead finger and the cut that's at the knuckle, licks it, and thinks about it and goes, January 17th. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I was like, what the fuck? But he was just so mentally ill and having an episode that he just really wasn't comprehending, because he was like, they're like, you got to get it amputated. He goes, no, I want my whole hand to look like that. Like, okay, here, fine, we'll give you antibiotic. He thinks that they're medication for his mental health issues. It's like, no, I don't take meds. I don't want no meds. Nothing. So they're like, so they had to just admit him to the hospital.
Damn. Well, I saw the photo, and this finger looked like when you put a wiener in the grill for a little too long.
It didn't look like Mr. Deed's foot.
Yeah, it did.
It was gangrene for sure, and it was hard as a rock.
Dude, what is up with the crime rate lately, man?
It's kind of out of control. But I mean,
back to back, the helicopter was flying over our house.
No way.
No, actually, 3 days in a row. One morning, I wake up at 4 in the morning. We're trying to go to bed, or we wake up like at 4 in the morning. And yes, it was about 4 in the morning because I was getting up to go on a bike ride. And the helicopter was flying over our house, but more towards, let's say, east of us. So the block over. And they started announcing for everyone to stay in their house. And I guess at one point they shined their light in our backyard. So I'm like, oh, this is just too fucking close to home.
Yeah, it's close. Close.
Apparently some dude stole the car and he wasn't coming out of the car. Or I guess he came out of the car and kind of ran through one of the houses and some shit like that. That's the reason why they shined the light in the backyard. But I was already ready to go, dude. My freaking tights were on, my shonies were on, I was ready to go on this bike ride. And the cop over the speaker, nobody come out of their house, stay inside, blah blah. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck you, criminal. Then the next day at the Valley Inn, bad publicity, the helicopter again, dude, circling and announcing over the speaker for somebody with the fucking gun.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch, dude. The next day, here we go. A high-speed chase on the 60 freeway west. Ended up on the 605 south. Got off on Valley Boulevard.
Perfect.
Got off on Valley. And at this time, I'm outside with my camera taking pictures of the helicopter. I told my brother Danny, I got one, bro. I got the picture of the helicopter. He goes, that's a good one. And 3 guys pull over into the Satin, abandon the car and run. One of them in the gray t-shirt slips automatically. So they pop them there and then. They jump over the fence. They go through the train tracks, and one of them ends up in Baldwin Park or Avenue or Boulevard, whatever, which is the same street that takes you over to the hospital.
Yeah,
it's the same street that if the Bliss wasn't here, it could be our block would go straight into that one.
Okay, yeah.
And one of them ran into a business, so they ended up catching them all. I told on Wednesday, I bumped into a police officer at the 7-Eleven that I call on, and like, dude, it's been kind of crazy lately, huh? He goes, I wish you guys could give us updates. He goes, like, well, what do you need to know? I'm like, the 3 guys in the truck. He goes, they all got arrested. I'm like, yeah, I know. I heard on the radio. He goes, Facebook sometimes is faster than us, man. Because that's how I was listening to the chase on Facebook. Some guy had the police scanner live on Facebook. So I'm like, I'm listening to this shit. I'm like, holy shit, he's on Valley.
Yeah. No, it's been a little crazy, but I mean,
a lot of stolen cars, a lot of freaking.
Well, yeah, because like nowadays it's like a ticket, man.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's because the way, as long as it's not like a carjacking or some violent way that is taken, it's gonna, if it's just like someone finds a parked car or a car that's running, they can just, and if they take it, it's just considered a non-violent crime. It's a property crime at that too, so it's still a felony. But because of COVID and jails being so packed, they're still kind of just citing people out. Like, you still go to jail, but you're only in jail now for like a few hours to take your picture, fingerprint, and then it's like, okay, here's your ticket. Make sure you go to court.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like I said, unless it's like a violent way, like a carjacking, then they'll hold you because it's now a violent crime.
Yeah.
But, so
I went to they rerouted us back in November, and that's another reason why I kind of give it a break, because the work is a bigger workload, and I wasn't getting
you have
home.
a new route.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't getting home till like some days till like 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Trust me, I wasn't looking at even recording anything, and so I lost this Walgreens on Azusa, and a few months ago, or like about a month and a half ago, that store, there was these two ladies just with bags, just filling their bags full of makeup and crap, like stealing crap in public. Like they're filming them. And so I went there so they gave me that store back, that Walgreens, and I saw the store manager. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, you guys were Facebook famous. She goes, what do you mean? I'm like, the ladies that were stealing your product. That was on Facebook? Yeah, that was on Facebook. She goes, holy shit. And she's like, hey, Susie, he said he saw it on Facebook. So, yeah, dude, the crime, people don't care. They're not even scared anymore.
No, everything happens now. Like before, it was like at night. Now there is no time for criminal activity. It can happen early mornings, mid mornings, afternoon, night. There's no like, hey, you know what? Nothing happens during the day. There is no time for that. People are doing straight robberies in the day, middle of the day, afternoon, evening. There's no crime is now 24/7. Yeah. So, it's just kind of the way it is right now. It's kind of the nature of the beast. So, once they kind of give a little bit more enforcement action back to us, that's when I think people are going to start actually realizing. Because, it's like anything. If you let a spoiled kid do whatever the hell they want to do, there's no repercussions. They're going to keep doing what they want to do. But once they start seeing, like, oh, man, if I do get caught, like, there is going to be some actual repercussions, some punishment, that's going to make them think about it maybe twice. Now, only the true hardened criminals are still going to, and the ones that are truly desperate will still do it, but it's not going to be your person that where opportunity comes, they just take it.
I know it's totally different with school and actually crimes and shit, but I think one of the boys tried to cheat on a test or got caught cheating on a test, or he was helping another student cheat on a test. Something like that happened, and I told him, I sat down to them and I told him, like, hey man, cheating, you're gonna get used to it at a test. You're gonna like the taste of it. Mm-hmm. If you continue to cheat, you're gonna like the taste of it, but it's not gonna be a happy outcome. So you need to nip that in the butt now before it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And if you don't nip shit like that in the butt with kids, this is why we become what we become.
Yeah.
No,
it's like the same thing, honestly. Like, in the extreme side of it, from cheating on a test to, like I was telling my barber today, like, he was talking about, like, robbing banks and burglaries. He's like, oh, like, you always get caught. Like, I don't know why they do it. I'm like, well, you actually don't get caught in the beginning. That's why people do it, because they think, if I was to rob this bank, I might get away that day. But the thing is, later down the line, you don't realize other detectives are working the case, that they're going to discover who you are. There's cameras everywhere. All they got to do is follow a path.
Yeah.
You don't think a bank has cameras outside and inside, and they're going to see a path? Guess what? They're going to walk up that whole street, and I can tell you right now, there's going to be one camera on that street. It may not catch your license plate, but it's going to tell you, again, a travelable path, which way you went next, till eventually that is caught. All they do is follow that path. It takes a long time. That's why sometimes, that person's not caught a month or two later, but eventually that they get caught. It's the same thing with cheating. You may not get caught that day, but the more you do it, guess what? It's going to catch up to you.
Yep. Yeah.
And at the end, it's going to be like, damn, was it really worth it?
Yeah, no, I taught them about that. I'm like, hey, you're going to like the taste of it, and it's not going to end well. So, yeah, that was nipped in the butt,
That's good, though.
So, I hope that they never break a law. I hope. It's funny because the other day,
as long as it's not a major law.
right? Because the other day we're having dinner. My brother Danny was still here, and we're having dinner. And then they brought up being in jail, and I'm like, you've been in jail. Like, obviously I've been to jail, and they blamed the other individual, and it wasn't the other individual's fault. It was my fault for losing my shit, losing my cool, losing my temper, and I put myself in that situation. And it doesn't matter who pissed me off. I did that to myself.
Yep. That's good.
And then they kind of like, oh yeah. And then my brother Danny was like, I've been to jail. And they're like, oh, like you? No.
Yeah, no, it's and that's really good though, because like a lot of times people, that's what they kind of, they try to protect themselves by saying stuff like, oh, you know, it was this person, they made me do this.
No.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
but once you start taking action, that's when you see like how grown a person is. You know, it's like,
I hated the
you
police
know.
for a long time, bro.
Yeah.
But it was like, wait a minute, they're just doing their job.
And that's all I tell people sometimes, you know, like I always tell people, you know, like not that we're trying to do anyone dirty or anything. It's just, you know, sometimes it's just the nature of the beast. It's just the job. You know, I always tell people, hey man, it's just my jale. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job. You know, that's all it is. And like, yeah, well, your job sucks. I'm like, I'm sure you see it that way, but you know, I've had a lot more other people being more appreciative because of the work.
You not having a job sucks.
At
Sucker.
times.
There you go. Flip that shit on them. Flip
Yeah.
that shit on them.
It was like I was telling my barber today too. I'm like, you know, that's why when I do have interaction with people, I try to kind of flip the script on it, so that way, like, it's more like I try to make them laugh, kind of give a more of a positive experience, so that way they're like, hey, you know what? If I can at least in their head, they may not say it out loud, but if their head, they were like, that guy was a cool cop.
yeah.
I know, you know what? I left a better impact on that person. He
Yeah.
may act now differently when he comes in front of law enforcement. You know, that doesn't mean that I changed their lives or whatever. I'm just trying to hopefully change a perspective. And that's all it is.
There was this one time I was in the 4th grade and I got my bike stolen. And there was a incident in school like a couple of days later where I kind of got into like a little scuffle with another kid.
Mm-hmm.
This kid was bigger than me, right? And, you know, I had to kick his ass. But so the police
But you lost.
The police were called. I don't know why the
Uh-huh.
police were called. But I guess the police were, you know, they escorted me home and shit like that. And then, but the police officer did her homework, and back then they weren't keeping me from school, so I was going to school. So she did her homework, and they're like, no, he's a good kid. He gets student of the month. He has good grades and stuff. So, this police officer bought me a bike.
Oh, no way.
She called me one day to the police station. She called my mom. And
Uh-huh.
she told me, hey, can your son come over? But back then, where it's okay for your kid to walk a couple blocks, you know.
God, I know.
Can you send your kid to the police station? We want to talk to him. Like, so there I go, all fucking nervous and scared and shit.
It's a long walk to the principal's office.
Yeah, so I'm walking to the police station, and yeah, she hands me a bike. She says, "Here you go," you know. But easy with your temper. I didn't learn. I didn't learn. So I've always liked bikes, bro.
Now it makes more sense.
Yeah, no, she got me a bike, and it was pretty cool. I don't think she got me a helmet, but it wasn't a law back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't a law back then. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is dope.
That was cool. That was bad. I think the last few times when I spoke to my mom, she said she bumped into her. She ended up being she's a detective now.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
Oh,
I mean she's been doing this since 90. She was probably a rookie in 93, 94. So no, yeah,
It's the year I was born.
yeah. Fucking kid, what are you doing in my house, bro? Fucking kid, you're not welcome here without a warrant. But
But if
yeah,
I'm invited,
nah, yeah. Like I said, dude, I got desperate.
hey, I'll take it.
I got
sometime.
desperate, and my wife kept on asking me what the fuck's
But
going
guess
on.
what?
with your
That's also the nature of my job. When people get desperate, they call the police.
That's right. So, anyways, but yeah, no, back to the whole family here. My brother Danny just left on Tuesday, I believe. He was here for almost 3 weeks.
Is he from Oxnard or?
No, he was born in Ventura, or I think Oxnard. He was born in Ventura or Oxnard, but unfortunate circumstances, we were separated as kids, and he went to go live with my grandma.
Texas.
Well, she didn't live in Texas. She lived in Oxnard.
Oh.
But when just like every house they rented ended up getting sold. So they're like, my grandpa's like, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
So he ended up buying a house in Texas. I think this is like 93, and they moved out there. So she, you know, took the kids. They're on her. They're her care. They're under her care, and we never saw them again until like 8 years later, because my mom always told us that, you know, she took the kids. She told us that, to live our own lives, and not pretty much that our grandma did not give a shit about us anymore. So every time I bumped into family, I ran away from them. I bumped into my Nino a couple of times. I bumped into uncles, and I would run.
Yeah.
I would run from them because we were told these horrible things. Until one day, she shows up at our front door, and the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, "Where the hell you guys been? I've been looking for you guys for 8 years." So then everything you've been believing for 8 years goes out the door.
Instantly.
And then you just lose respect for the person that told you this bullshit lies. You know, my brother's no longer freaking 2 feet tall. He's fucking 6'5".
Yeah.
You know, and so like I said on my post yesterday on Facebook,
I saw that.
you know, unfortunate circumstances. I'm glad we're making up time. Making up for lost time.
No, yeah.
And I texted him yesterday, and I texted him on Tuesday, "Hey, drive safely," and he responded back where, "Thanks again for the hospitality. I don't feel like I'm intruding anymore." You never were, bro.
Yeah.
You never were. So,
But he's in Texas then.
no, he right now he is in Iowa, I believe. So he works for Panther. It's like a delivery service, like a 24-hour delivery service.
Okay.
So he pretty much delivers items that Amazon won't. He said he's delivered like 2 coffins,
No shit.
empty coffins.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he said he's delivered. He's gone to almost every state. He's delivered something in almost every state.
Is he like a truck driver then?
No, the van. It's a van.
It's a van.
It's
still.
a van. It
Oh,
looks like a big Amazon van.
Yeah.
I think it might even be bigger. And I mean, technically, it's almost a truck, dude, a rig, because it has a bed inside and he has everything he needs in there. Obviously, he stops at rest stops.
Yeah.
He stops at Planet Fitness just to shower and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when he's here, he doesn't have to go anywhere. He's here.
Yeah, it's sick.
He comes over, he visits, and then and then whenever he gets a shipment towards the East Coast, he takes off again.
So,
He says he won't deliver anything in California. It's too expensive,
like gas wise?
gas wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he comes,
he lives in Iowa though?
huh?
He lives in
No,
Iowa?
no. He technically lives out of his van.
Got it. Okay.
He technically lives out of his van. So
Oh, so he just goes to different ports
yeah,
to pick up.
yeah. So when
Got it.
he's so used to sleeping in his van that he came here, and us having a guest bedroom, he slept in his van.
No way.
Yeah.
It's home.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he's ready to settle down, and I'm like, he comes over here and he sees me and my kids and my family. He goes to my sister's house who lives in Illinois, and does the same thing. He says, I'm ready to settle down, but right now I gotta make money. So yeah, no, he drives a lot, dude. He drives a lot. So kudos to him.
Yep.
But he came down because he brought our grandma's ashes.
Oh, okay.
He brought our grandma's ashes. So we went. Obviously, the last podcast I said I talked about was going to Texas because our grandmother passed away back in December, and her viewing was on the 17th of January. The same day that guy freaking lost his finger, bit his finger.
Yeah.
When you said that earlier, that freaking date sounds so familiar. My grandma's viewing. So as I'm, praying for my grandma's body,
this
guy is
weird.
freaking breaking
Yeah.
windows with his fingers. So we went out there and we took off during a weekend when it was a Monday. So we took off on Saturday. I learned to never freaking drive in the evening.
Yeah.
What I did this time was I woke up at 4 a.m. on the road by 5.
Yeah.
Because I know my body can stay awake from 4 a.m. to 8 o'clock at night. I didn't even need coffee. Now that straight shot all the way over there. This time, because the wife had to work, she stayed home. The kids stayed with her. So it was just me and my 2 brothers, Ricky and Chris.
Yeah.
And I was like, they even took time off of work to go with me. They're like, that way. I'm like, let's go, dude. Ricky's like, I didn't really know her. She knew me as a neighbor kid, but I'm like, she's still my grandma. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Chris went and we went. It was a good brother bonding time,
Yeah.
like bullshitting on the way over there, road trip. Yeah. Freaking, we were playing license plate, every time you see a license plate. And Chris bitched out, bro. He bitched out because he couldn't see him from afar. And I could. Utah, boom. But that car's like 3 miles away. Boo, it says Utah. And as we get Utah to Colorado, boom, he gave up, dude. He bitched out. He's, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Okay. So you know that punch buggy?
Yeah.
So my kids, I don't know if they started it. Someone started this game where it's the same thing as punch buggies, but it's only for yellow cars.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we
okay.
did that also, and he bitched out. He tapped out. We were done. He said, "You're fucking driving. How are you fucking?" Because my job to keep us alive is to pay attention to the road.
Yeah.
So I see everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's like, like I say, he bitched out. It was the same day that Sunday. Actually, it was a Sunday. Yeah, I think it was that Sunday. We left Sunday. It was the same Sunday the Cowboys played the 49ers. So when we got to El Paso, it was the end of the Cowboys season. Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we got there. Our brother Danny was already out there waiting for us, and but we stayed at my grandma's house. But because we have another brother that lives there, they don't connect. They don't get along. So my brother Danny, I felt bad, but my brother Danny stayed outside in the van. He slept in the van. We weren't that comfortable, bro. I slept on the floor on a sofa that had a lump in the middle. So I slept on a sofa that was like 30 years old, bro. So
Yeah.
he was probably more comfortable in the van.
Probably, especially if he already has it set up the way he likes it to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so the viewing's the next day, the 17th, like I said. We get ready, we go to the viewing, and then seeing my grandma in the box, we just saw her in August, healthy, laughing, joking, calling me Satan for wearing a Cowboys jersey.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to see her in the box, I couldn't. She didn't look like that. That's not who I knew.
Yeah.
So I went and sat at the corner end of what do they call the pews.
Yeah.
I sat there where I can see her just like from her chin to like her nose and her forehead. That view looked just like her. That's who I remember.
Yeah.
Sadly, this one's sleeping, and you know what I mean. It's not going to get up. And we had the viewing. Some cousins showed up. I met two cousins that I've never met. I saw them with. Hey, my cousin Andres was there. My prima Juanita was there. And they're like, "This is your cousin, Alicia. This is your cousin, D. And I think Diana also." And okay, cool. Follow them on Facebook and stuff like that now. And that was cool. But I think the best outcome of that day was my brother Alex, who him and I grew up being like,
Rock solid.
Freaking, he was my right hand, I was his right hand. It's like, we bonded, bro. We were brothers. We grew up together. It was like, I jump, you jump type bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like the Titanic right here. But I'm Jack, and and he came up to after a few minutes. He, of him sitting in the back, he comes up to us and straight out says, "I don't want any more bullshit. The past is the past," and boom, sat right there with us, and we all bullshit like nothing ever happened. And I think that was the best outcome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And after that, we got, after the viewing, my mom also came up to us and she shook her hands, and and I told her, "Sorry for your loss."
Oh, your mom went.
My mom was there.
Nice.
Yeah. My
Okay,
brother
good.
Alex is the one who drove her out there.
Okay, good.
And then our youngest brother went too. So he said hi too as well and something like that. But she, like I said, she came up to us, she shook her hands and she said, "Sorry for your loss." And I told her, "Sorry for your loss." And as for pictures and stuff, whatever picture she has, if they're of you, I will scan them and send you your pictures. I'll send you whatever belongings that belong to you from anything that I feel you should have from the house, we will send. And she said, "Okay, cool." After the viewing, my brother, I asked for a sibling photo because that was the first time 7 of us were together.
Was anyone missing?
Yeah, well, yeah, the other 5, the other 5.
So over
So
half.
and one of them passed away back in July.
Shit. Yeah.
So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
my sister she couldn't make it. She had to go back to work because they were just here for Christmas.
Mhm.
And then 2 of the younger ones were MIA, and then, but no, yeah, there was 12 of us all together, bro.
Yeah.
So got a group photo of us 7, and then pretty much once the viewing was over, we went straight back to my grandma's house and we started packing. Dude, the guy that lived there, our brother that lived there, I'm like, hey, what do you have dibs on? Because we're gonna save the rest of it. Either I'm gonna take it to my house and hold it in the garage, or Danny's gonna take it to storage and hold it on until we figure out what we're gonna do. At the moment, you have 4 of us here to help you out. We got to do this today because we leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, yeah. The day of the viewing, we even went to Home Depot and bought a bunch of boxes. My brother's like, we could have just gone and got milk crates. Bro, I got a Home Depot credit card. Don't trip. Got the credit card. I still have empty boxes right that I want to take back to this Home Depot, see if I get some money back.
Yeah.
We bought a bunch of boxes, tape and everything, bubble wrap, everything. And we just started wrapping like her little, anything that we felt she kept, because she started giving stuff away a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
She started giving stuff away a long time ago. Pictures. There was a vanilla envelope that I found that has pictures of my kids when they're little. Pictures of Layla when she's like a year old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was like, oh, damn, she was ready to send this out. And so we were just trying to get everything that we felt had a sentimental value to it. She had a bunch of little angel figurines. She had just stuff that her rosary. So now I have one of her rosaries in my car,
Mm-hmm.
and an angel in the living room. She had these little elephants. Those are in the living room.
I remember you saying that you wanted every room to have one piece of
her. Yeah. So right now, our master bedroom has like these little candle holders that she had in her room. The guest bedroom is going to have this picture frame that I fell in love with. It's a bunch of pictures hanging like on chains. So it's multiple picture frames hanging off a chain. So they're like chained together, linked together.
Almost like a family tree type thing?
I guess. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that one's going to go in the guest bedroom. And then, every room has a little bit of something
That's
of
cool.
her.
That's dope.
And then I started scanning photos. Dude, scanning 13 photos took me like 2 hours.
No.
It's not easy, dude. And so family started hitting me up for pictures and pictures and pictures. And I got to the point where I got frustrated, bro. And I said, you know what? Last time I checked, you guys weren't even visiting my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I checked, you guys have not stepped foot in our house for over 10 years. So I will address the photos when I address the photos. And these photos are going to go to the people that I feel need to go to them. So we're not going to get into it over photos. And no, yeah, like I said, we took some of her belongings, some of the stuff. And then, but it just felt weird being there because just 4 months ago,
It was a different setting.
yeah, it was a different environment, different setting. She was, happy to have us there, and she looked like she was in good health, and she even walked outside to see us drive off.
Yeah,
and
I think that's kind of like where I kind of was, because so my grandma, she's 96, and every year since I've been with Bethy, so 5 years, every year for 5 years I've gone up there. We've gone at least once because she lives in Washington State. So every year we go once. I think one time we went twice that year. I think it was like we went for our vacation, also for Thanksgiving. We had it up there. So we go there every year. And we went this past May. We went up there. We saw my grandma, did our thing.
you got pulled over.
Yeah, I did. I got pulled over a lot that time too.
You guys don't hide it.
No tickets.
I wonder why.
That's the good looks, man.
Whatever, dude. You pulled the fucking cop card.
I might have. So yeah, so it's I see her, and so my grandma's been blind. God, man. My dad's 56, so ever since my dad was, I think, 10 or 12, that's when she fully lost her sight.
Oh wow.
So over 30 years, she's been blind. But her memory is sharp.
Well, yeah, she
Super
lost
sharp.
one of her abilities.
Yeah.
That made the other one stronger.
Yeah, so her memory is like, so my grandpa had Alzheimer's, and that's what he ended up passing away from when I was like 10. But her memory is the complete opposite. She is sharp, man. Like, she can quote Bible verses. She can quote songs that she learned in, like, when she was in elementary school. She, like, just off the top of the noggin, her memory's like an elephant. It's sharp. And that's always been her thing. So, that's why I would always go up there. But I guess recently, literally like this beginning of this week, my uncle said that. So we have two uncles that live up there with her, and the one that she lives with, one of my uncles said that, hey, grandma was in the hospital. Doctor said it's not looking good. She's now slowly deteriorating, and usually when she gets sick like that, she usually makes some form of comeback. But this time, he's like, it's been a little bit, and she's not making a comeback. It's actually getting slowly deteriorating worse and worse. And again, she's 96. She had COVID, beat it. But now it's like it's getting bad. Like she's shallow breathing and everything. So everyone, of course, is in panic mode. They're like, hey, go up, go up, go up, because we don't know, how long this is going to last. And kind of like how you said, I'm used to my grandma. Even, again, someone that's blind, she gets up when she hears that we're there. She gets up out of, her stool or whatever. She goes to her special chair. She has her whole house mentally mapped out.
Yeah.
She knows where everything is. She knows if you move something. She's like, hey, who moved this? Because, again, she knows it all by memory.
Yeah.
So she goes to her chairs. She converses with us and everything. Everything's cool. So that's why I was like, do I want to go and see my grandma where she's can't get up? Like, I saw a video of her where she can barely lift up her hand to, like, shake to, like, my cousin that arrived. I was like, do I want to go where I'm seeing my grandma in that state? Or do I want to just have the memory of the last that I had of her back in May singing to me, and then just kind of, like, seeing the end result of what may come? That's kind of, like, the predicament that I was in. I was like, do I want to see her in that state? Or would I rather see the end result? And
So
right now, I'm kind of
my-
like...
My question to you is, so she doesn't know how ugly your mug is.
No.
Damn, lucky her.
But she knows how great I sound.
I guess. And sorry to throw a joke in there. We have to. Honestly, dude, when I heard that she went back to the hospital, my grandma went back to the hospital, or not the hospital, but back to this like rehab home, because about 2 years ago she broke a bone in her hip.
Mm-hmm.
And recently I just learned that when old people break a bone, it doesn't heal.
No.
And we're lucky that some people survive that, or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So we're lucky that my grandma survived 2 years of a broken hip.
Mm-hmm.
Chente fell, broke something. A week later, he's gone.
Yeah.
Another actress, novela lady, fell, breaks something. She dies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like saying, like, I talked to my cousin Diana, and she was like, you know why my mom's still alive? Because she's in no fucking home. She's here where we can see her.
Mm-hmm.
There is going to be no fall bullshit. She's fallen here. She hasn't died. So I was like, so what you're saying is she went back to that home to people that don't give a shit about her, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just pretty much. And I'm like, well, what's the point of her being at home in the first place when she's being taken care of by a senior citizen across the street? Because the person that lives in the house with her it's not really there for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and my brother Danny said the same thing, I believe she's better off in this home. So I got a glimpse of a photo of my grandma when she was in this home, and trust me, bro, I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't her. Like I said in her at the viewing,
Mm-hmm.
that's not her. That's not her. I wanted her to crack up one more joke. The last thing I heard from her was she sounded so confused. Like, who's this? Grandma's, it's Andy. Oh, ¿qué pasó, mijo? I'm like, just checking to see how you're doing. And then again, ¿qué pasó, mijo? I'm like, just calling to see how you're doing. And it sounded like she was out of it, lost. Yeah. So, Mom, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. I'll check on you later, okay? And she said, okay. That never happened, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because the next thing we heard, she had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And they said there was a complication with her blood sugar dropped, or something happened where I didn't know she was on so many fucking medications, bro. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it's just like, there's enough. There's only so many medications you can take.
Yeah.
and I think something happened where it took over her liver. I honestly
Well,
don't.
yeah, because your liver has to process all that stuff. So,
Yes.
I mean, there's only so much the liver can only filter.
Mm-hmm. So I honestly don't know at the end of the day what exactly caused it, but yeah, like I said, I got a glimpse of a photo and I did not like it. I do not like it. So in my case, it's still a couple states away, but I mean, is that the memory we want to have, or do we want to have the good memories we had back in August?
That's why, yeah. That's kind of
Because
where I was at.
the August memories were freaking amazing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she bonded with my kids. My kids went and sat and watched novelas with her, and you know, she pretty much was like amazed at looking at my boys and saying, "I'm watching you grow up all over again."
Yeah.
And it's not, like I said, bro. It's not. In my point of view, bro, I'm glad I saw her in August.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, because I was literally gonna text you last night because I'm like, I might fly out today, like this
And
morning.
cancel on me.
Yeah, cancel on
What's
you.
more important than the podcast, bro? God.
But literally last night
No
at like
loyalty.
midnight. No, seriously, last night at midnight or like 11:30, I made the last second decision. I'm like, no, I want the good memory that I have.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there, and and have that now be my last memory of her. Like, yeah, in the backside, people will probably be like, yo, but isn't it good to see her alive one last time? I'm like, to an extent, but at the same time, I'd rather see her in her natural state that I remember her, not in her sick state. Especially when this could potentially be, like, they're saying, like, within the next few days to maybe a week.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd kind of rather sacrifice that, and remember what I have already in the memory bank.
Yeah.
Than unfortunately let that be my last everlasting memory. I remember physically seeing her alive.
See, now as I'm listening to your story and what you're saying, every time I blink, that's the image I'm seeing of my grandma in that hospital bed.
Yeah.
Every time I blink, that's the flashback of, and then that's not the memory I wanted to see, man.
Yeah, no.
I didn't.
And I'm the same way. The good thing is she's at my uncle's house, not in a hospital, but I mean, still, she's not in the same state that she's in. She can't get up or anything.
So when my grandpa passed away, going on almost 9 years, he actually passed away the same month and year that I started working for this company. So I'll always know how long he's been gone for when they give me my congratulations on today's. You've been working with us for 9 years. So I'll know, so when he passed away, a couple of days later, I was stressing on my bills, and I was sitting on my kitchen table just crying. I'm like, dude, I made less than what my bills are worth. And that night he came to me in a dream, and he told me that everything was going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So everything's going to be all right. I have more respect for my grandfather now than I did back then, because I found out recently that he lived paycheck to paycheck. He had no education. He didn't even know how to read. Mm-hmm. He didn't have a GPS in his phone. He had to figure out how to read maps on his own.
He had a Thomas guide.
Huh?
Yeah, Thomas guide.
What does that mean?
A Thomas guide?
Is that like somebody that rides with him?
No. Thomas guide is it's like a big map, pretty much, of like the routes that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's in a book, but it's not a book because they're just routes. They're just streets.
Yeah.
How to get to places.
So, well, that's what he had, I guess. And when I went back in August, one of my brothers took me to this store, little mom and pop's like produce store.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, this is where our pops used to work. We used to call him Pops. This is where Pops used to work out of. I'm looking around like, here? Like, this is like a little shop in Mexico, which is no joke. The border to Juarez is right there. So it's, yeah, it's like,
literally, okay.
Well, this is where he worked out of? He goes, yeah, this is where he worked out of. And then so me talking to my brother Danny, he's like, do you think they had a 401k there? I'm assuming no. So he worked paycheck to paycheck his entire life.
Oh, yeah.
And so now I understand why he came to my dream and told me it's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was 9 years ago, almost 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me now, bro.
Buying new cars and new cameras.
A 2022 camera with only 3 miles on it, and a camera with no miles on it. He was right. so a point of that story is because when my grandma passed away, a similar thing happened. So my uncle passed away back in '88. So the same year Danny was born, my uncle passed away in a motorcycle accident, and so she lost her son he was 19 years old, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't get to see her son grow, nothing, and whatever. So in my dream, it's my grandma playing with these two kids, right? And it's like a memory of a photo.
Mm-hmm.
It's a photo that I've seen. I've seen this photo.
Yeah.
These two kids are obviously my mom and my uncle, even the same outfit they were wearing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
That
at the
photo
moment
came-
that this
photo
photo,
came to life.
I was dreaming and kind of reliving the moment that photo was taken.
Yeah, it was like that photo came to life.
Yeah, and I was there, and I was watching my grandma watching her kids play,
Mm-hmm.
watching her kids play, run around, being kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that as she's happy.
Yeah.
My mom might not be gone, but technically her mind somewhat is, because my mom is technically still has the mind of a 15-year-old. It's been proven. So in this dream, my grandma is playing with her kids,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So to me, I took it as she's happy. Then I followed her into a room, which is her room.
Yeah.
She never fucking told us she loved us, dude. She told my kids she loved them. She never told anyone she loved them. In my dream, she hugs me. And it's not just a quick, how you doing hug. And
It's an embrace.
it's a fucking hug.
Yeah.
And she tells me she loves me.
That's crazy.
I fucking woke up crying, dude.
Oh, yeah.
She tells me she loves me. And she went to bed. She closed her eyes. And I woke up.
That's crazy.
So I interpreted that dream as she's happy.
Oh, yeah.
She's happy. She's with her husband. She's with her kid. She is no longer in pain. And you know, she appeared and let these dreams too. Like
Yeah.
apparently she came and let these dream my wife and told her, you better take care of my Andres. And that her grandpa, who passed away years ago, came in and said, no, he needs to take care of her.
That's funny.
Like they were up to, like, it's pretty
that's
crazy, man.
crazy.
Like,
I've had dreams like that, though. Like, especially
Yeah.
with, like, my grandpa.
so that
Yeah,
was
those are
pretty, that was
crazy.
pretty cool, man. But yeah, it sucked, dude. Like I said, I honestly, I'm glad I didn't see her in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad I
that's-
didn't see that. But
That's where
at
I'm
the same time, it's like, we have those good memories of her back in August,
Yeah.
you know?
See, like, I guess the only side of me is, like, I wish I can just go there to tell her that I love her one more time. But I know she knows that because that's what I always did, like I said, when we would
Yeah.
call her. So it's not like I need to go clear something up. It was always mentioned. It was always said. That's why I always made it a point. Betty always knew, too, like, hey, we're going to take at least a few days to go to Washington just to see my grandma. So it's not like this, like, oh, man, like, you know, you have to go clear something up with grandma, or like you have to go tell grandma that you love her, you know.
Yeah.
Finally, it's been known, you know. I guess in a way I want to be selfish and have a certain memory of my grandma, especially when the time is nearing end, you know. And if things kind of change differently and she starts to do better, kind of back to her old self, you know, I'll spring out there quick. You know,
Yeah.
I'll drop what I'm doing, and I'll go
Yeah.
up there quick to see her in that state that I would like to see her in. You know, it's just right now they're just saying that it's day by day kind of getting worse and worse. So I'm like, you know what? I'll kind
You
of
know,
hold off
the
then.
thing is that, can you sleep at night?
Oh, yeah.
If you feel that you didn't go over there,
Yeah.
will it help you sleep at night?
Oh, yeah.
But because, like you said, you're at peace knowing that
Mm-hmm.
you saw her when she was healthy
Yeah.
and funny and singing to you.
Yeah. So,
So
and-
that's the way I see it, bro.
Yeah.
I got to see her in August, and she was happy. She
Mhm.
thank you for bringing, like, the next day she called me, thank you for bringing the kids over. I really appreciate it. I think it was like kind of like that moment. The way I see it is like it was that moment we needed to go up there
Mhm.
so she can finally rest.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Mhm.
Because I mean, the last time she said she saw the kids was 8 years ago,
Yeah.
and that was an in and out, bro. That we got there and we took off. It
was quick.
You know,
Really
yeah, we
quick.
got there, we slept, we got to go. And this time we were there for a couple of days. We got there on, I believe we got there Saturday, We didn't leave till Monday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said I'm not driving at night anymore.
Yeah.
That drive back was a
I
bitch.
remember that.
drive
Yeah,
was a
you telling
bitch.
me that.
So
yeah.
I think that was a way of saying, okay, he came to visit. He brought the kids. I can go now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way I see it.
And like my sister, my cousin, they flew out this morning. That's who I was gonna fly out with, but they also went because my sister hadn't seen her in like I think 2 or 3 years. I think the same thing with my cousin, but they want to go because so my cousin's son is 3, and obviously my sister's baby is like 6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
They wanted them to meet grandma, so like I want grandma to meet Luca and Scarlett.
Yeah.
So that's why they kind of took off too. Like, hey, just I want them to meet. At least grandma can say that she met him. So that's done. So yeah, so they went out there, and yeah, I was talking to him a little bit, but, and she's talking, but again, she's bedridden, and so, I'm like, I'm glad they're getting their part too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let them be, and now, if by next week, like that's my plan right now, by next week, if they're like either she's the same or she's getting worse, then I'll probably hold off still again. But if they're like, you know what, she's doing a little bit better now, I'll drop
There
what
you
I'm
go.
doing,
Yeah.
going out there.
Yeah. No, yeah. The only, like, the beautiful thing about technology nowadays is that I'm always going to hear her voice.
Mm-hmm.
One day I called her when she was in this home,
Mm-hmm.
when he was home. Remember when we went to Big Bear? I think around that time,
Okay.
we were in Big Bear. She was in this home, and I called her one day, and I had it plugged in to the podcast when I first got the mixer.
Uh-huh.
I had it plugged into the setup, and I recorded the entire conversation that we had.
Nice.
So I have her voice.
Nice.
And then one day I didn't answer my phone on my birthday. She left me a voicemail.
Okay.
So I have that. And then that following month for Father's Day, she left me another voicemail. So I'll always have her voice, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always have her voice. And it's the thing about technology nowadays, it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't think about it. I was just playing with the audio to see how it worked, see if it would work. And who can I call? Let me call my grandma, see how she's doing. The whole conversation, I was going to use it. I was going to post it as a podcast episode, but the whole thing was in Spanish. So I would have had to translate right after her. But yeah, I'm glad I have those recordings. And then
I did the same thing. Like I don't know if it was the last or second to last time. Either last year or 2 years ago. Cause that's what I always do because I know she loves to sing.
yeah.
So I bet they recorded her singing. So on my phone, so I have that.
There you go.
Yeah, so that
There you
way. Because
go.
again, that's what I always remember. She just loves to sing. She just sits in her chair. She kind of does a little whistle, and then when a song comes to her head, she just starts singing it.
There you go.
Yeah, so I have that. So that's gonna be so. Like I said, for the same reason, when it's always there, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So
I actually told Aunt Gabby, Uncle Roy's wife, because I was telling her the same story about the recording,
the
voicemail, and she said that they actually have some of their father somewhere in an old phone. I'm gonna bring me the phone. See if I can hack into it and get it out. I can put it into a voicemail or something like that. And but no, that's like I said again, the beautiful thing about technology. But the one thing I did learn from this trip was we shouldn't have to wait for a loss to squash things with family.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to wait for someone to die for us to reach out to one another.
Yeah.
We were like I said in my post, unfortunate circumstances, led us to be the way we are, led us to how apart we are from each other. And because my buddy Roger was like, I hate when people take pictures at funerals, and because why should you have to wait for a funeral to take a photo? And I'm like, well, in my case, that was a 1 in a million photo, because that photo is never going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Because if people came over to the funeral and they were sincere about squashing things, that's one thing. If they weren't sincere, because I kind of felt it, that one individual wasn't sincere.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he was just there because he was forced to be there. But I just don't have to wait for someone to die.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's one thing that when my grandma passed away, my cousin said too. Again, a lot of we have a big family, So same thing, like it shouldn't have to take someone to pass away for us to all get together, you know. And for a while we were like that, you know. All of us started hanging out a lot more. It's just unfortunate sometimes. That's just a reminder,
Yeah.
you know, that hey, life is short.
Yep.
That we can't take things granted. We should, especially with family. You know, that's one thing that no matter what, we're always going to be connected with. So you know, let's not wait for scary situations, tragic situations, or unfortunate situations be the reason why people have to come back together or reach out, like you said, and everything. But at the same time, sometimes that is just the unfortunate reminder.
Yeah. So I
know.
mean, like I told my buddy Roger, that's a 1 in a million photo.
Mm-hmm.
That photo will never happen again. Especially when two brothers are beefing, and I had to tell both of them after this viewing, if you guys want to go your separate ways, that's on you guys. But at the moment, we're here because she's here, and we got to do what it is. Do we agree with the shit you're doing? Of course not. Is he right?
It's not about it.
Of course he is. But the way he comes about it is one thing. But if everybody wants to go their separate ways after this, that's on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we're all here because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here.
100%.
So
yep.
yeah, I'm like, don't wait. Like I said, don't wait for a tragedy to happen.
Yeah.
You know, after the viewing, my brother asked, "Hey, can I come to the house? I've never been to the house." And I'm like, "Yeah, come on down." Well, my brother Danny and the other one were like, "It's your call." Like I had the fucking keys, dude, to call shots for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's your call, dude. If you feel that it's okay, I'm like, I mean, they're only gonna come see the house, right? Give them a tour, whatever. So yeah, my brother Alex came over with the young one. They came in and they're like, you know, scoping the house. Well, this is the kitchen. I'm giving them a tour. This is the kitchen. We don't go in that room. You know, here's the backyard. Here's grandma's. Here's where she slept. And then pretty much we're just packing stuff right now. If there's anything you guys like, go ahead and take it. And there's that. Well, our mom said something about some Betty Boo. Well, yeah, our grandma was into Betty Boo. Here's some glassware that you can take. There's a clock right there. You can take that. What else can we take, bro? Anything else? Anything's free dibs? Free dibs? Okay. You guys want to take an angel? Go ahead. Blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. Go ahead. And, but when it comes to photos, I nipped that one. I'm like, let me take them home and scan them first. Because we'll never know we're going to see these again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Understandable. After that, we all went outside. We were bullshitting. My brother, Danny, has a, what do you call that bike that's only one wheel?
Pixie. Oh, unicycle.
Unicycle. So they're all being idiots trying to climb this thing. And, my brother Alex I have a video of him trying to freaking use it. It was fucking hilarious, dude. He almost ate shit. And I wasn't
tried those?
I'm not even going to try.
Hard.
Bro. I'm
really
not
hard.
Try.
I've tried them. It's hard.
And Danny, why do you have that? Because I've always wanted to try it. So you've been driving with your truck. It's been in your van for who knows how long. Yeah, I just don't want to try it. But as the night's over and my brother Alex and the young one are leaving, you know, he shakes the other guy's hands and, hey, what's up? And then he comes up to me and we hug. I hug him.
Uh-huh.
We hug. And as we're hugging, I told him I've missed him. And he said, that's where the past is the past. So he unblocked my phone. Or he removed whatever app he was using. And I just texted him a few days ago. He responded. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, again, I'm glad I have my brother back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I have my brother back. I'm just, we shouldn't have waited this long.
No, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, my word of advice, if you're beefing with somebody, be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And go say hi. Go check on them.
Yeah.
You know?
At the end of the day, especially doing what I do, you know, I see a lot of things and, you know, tomorrow's never guaranteed, you know, for you or whomever that person may be, you know, and the last thing you want to have is that regret. It may not hit right away, but down the line, you know, like the same thing like that burglar, it may not hit right away once you hear the news, but later down the line, you're going to be like, fuck, man, I kind of wish, you know, things would have been a little differently.
Yeah.
But the thing is, once that person's gone or vice versa, there is no adjusting.
Once the person's gone, that's it. They're gone.
Yeah.
So they
You
don't want to.
You can tell them as much as you want. at the gravesite, but unfortunately, you're not hearing the it's okay. I still care about you.
Yeah.
I still love you. Or it's just hearing the agreement. You're not gonna get that back. It's gonna be one-sided.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh.
sir. Well, it feels good to record another podcast episode.
It does, man. Yeah,
It's
no,
been a
it really
minute.
does. It's good to hear Flat Tire Andy back on.
Well, we're
on
gonna
the
make
air,
this.
man.
I want to try to get this more often. I probably don't want to go 2 months before recording another one. No
Yeah, that'd be
guest.
good.
You're the guest. You're gonna be a / co-host for a while, man, until we get someone else on here.
You know me, I don't mind. I love hearing myself talk.
Fucking conceited guy. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't go see your grandma. But yeah, man, like I said, I want to do this more often, even if it's just random bullshit. Is what it is. Not always like this grandma thing has been like the whole message of don't wait till someone passes to squash
Don't wait
things
before it's too late.
has been has
Yeah.
been on my mind for a while. So I'm like, well, fuck it, Ricky, I have no choice, bro. You're up.
Perfect. You know what I mean?
So you won't even take offense to that.
Won't say no to it.
So again, we're gonna try to do this more often. And like I end every podcast, thank you for riding with me.
Thanks for having me, brother.
People, check on your elders. Latest.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Andy podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.